Hi, today we will see how we're gonna create a progressive web app that is PWA using Angular. So let's jump into the video. Hi everyone, this is Subrat and you are watching Fun of Heuristics. So on this channel, you will get to know about the programming languages, the framework and all about the algorithm. So please consider subscribing and hit the bell icon if you haven't yet. As you know, in the previous video, we have discussed about service worker, what is life cycle, how to register a service worker, how to install it, how to activate it, how to register your cache, how to update your cache in the fetch. So I have discussed all about that. But if you haven't watched that video, I will suggest please go to that video. I will link it there. Watch that because you will be clear all the process of a service worker. If you remember, I told you that in Angular, creating a progressive web app that is PWA is pretty easy. It's just a line command. So I have created a folder that is Angular PWA. In that, we will create a project that is engineer. Again, I will give that as a Angular PWA. So I'll just start the server like ng serve. As you can see, it's got completed. So we'll go to the browser and we'll just hit localhost 4200. And here you can see we got the application. And if you remember in the previous video, I have shown you like how to do a offline mode for the service worker, and here it will be remain same. So I will hit the offline here and we'll just do the refresh, and you can see we got no internet access. Now we'll do the magic. Magic means just a line. So now we'll add our PWA application to our Angular app. And as I told you, it's just a command. So it just will add ng add at Angular /PWA. And what it will do is it will add PWA for you, it will register PWA for you, the service worker for you, and we'll see what is happening and all. If you see here, it has created this many files, which is all our images. Like I will show you why this is for, and it has updated our Angular JSON, I have updated our package.json, it has updated our module TS, and it has updated our index.html. Before checking those files, what is got created and what is got updated, what I want to show you is I want to run the application and you will see what all is there. If you remember in the previous video, we have gone through in various steps. First we register, then we install, then we activate, then we fetch. After the fetch, we got our data back, means we got the data from the cache in the offline mode. So for that, one thing we have to do here is we'll just build the application, and I will let you know why. I just want to show you how easy it is. We have created the build, and inside this we have our app called Angular PWA. And if you remember in the last video also, we have used a HTTP server to host the file because it need to be hosted from the build, and I will let you know why. So we'll just go ahead and write HTTP server, and the port will be 8080. And we'll see that okay, this is running. Now we'll go to the application and we'll run the localhost. Now I'll open the file, and here you can see with just a single command and a build, our application is activated and running. So, and you can see the file, lot of things are there, but I will show you here. I will not go through all the things, but yeah, this is optimized and lot of things is happening here. So we'll just go to the application to show you. Okay, I have just hit the offline. Now you can see you got the application back, means it's working on the offline mode. And if you see here on the right hand side, we are getting an icon to open the app. Actually, I already installed the app with the port 8080. That's why it's not asking me to install it. It is asking me to open that app. So if I click here, then it will say, okay, service worker is the app name because I have created an app with the name service worker as a port 8080. So what I will do, just to show you, I'll just go ahead and kill the application, and I will start the application in port 8000, and we'll go to the browser again. We'll just close the tab and I will open the application in the 8000 port. Now I will see again here if it's coming or not. So here now you can see we got a plus icon. If you just click on that, you can see install app, that is what called PWA, and if I install that app, it will install the app and it will open the app here. So it's on my second screen. I'll just bring it to the first screen. Okay, so now the app is got installed. Now it seems like it's a Mac app and you can do a lot of things here. You can it will work as it is, like as a native app. As I Okay, so I just click there. So as I told you that here you can send notification, you can do the background sync, lot of things you can do here, and we will see all that in this video series. And one more benefit here is, suppose you have created your application as PWA, and when the user will hit the URL, they will get a link to open the app from the browser. Like they can create and click and just they can open the app. And one more, and the best thing is, it will be added to your app screen. So I will just try to show you here. So I will just type Angular, then you can see we got our Angular PWA. User don't have to go to the browser and type your URL. They will directly get the application on their app screen. And for the mobile, it will go to the home screen or where the all app is present. Now we will see what all file has been changed by the installing or adding the Angular PWA to our project. So first we'll go to our index.html. So what it has done here, we have added a no script here. Means if user has disabled the JavaScript in the browser, then this will be pop up, but it's very rare. And we have added our manifest. If you go to the manifest here, you can see you have added a lot of your icons. That icons is this one. So if I just go ahead and search that, so here what you are seeing, the icon, so that icon is the manifest dot one. If you go to the asset, so here as it's referring to the asset, so if I go to the asset icon, you can see the different size of icon are there for different kind of devices, different kind of screens. So here you can create your own icon. Like if you have your logo, you can create your own icon and you can put it here so that it will be, and if you are changing the name, then change it here as well, so that it will be refer properly in the user device. We'll go to the app module. So in the app module, if you remember, we have registered our service worker, like I think the service worker.js, that we have registered through from the navigator. So we call navigator.serviceworker.register. So what we are doing here is the same. So we are doing the service worker.register and it's JavaScript file, and we are saying it's only for the production environment. Why it's production environment? If you remember that for the security region, and it's only supported through HTTPS, so it's better to go with the production environment. And if you see here, if you check, we are not seeing this file anywhere in our project. So that's the reason I have built the project, then I demonstrate you about the PWA and the service worker. And if you build, this file will be get created under dist and our application name, and this is the file and the service worker, and lots of things are there. What we have did in the previous video is not also a tip of the iceberg. It's just a caching and some giving the file for offline mode. But here everything is optimized in a gist. What I'm saying is it is making the things pretty efficient, creating the file, creating your PWA file, installing and giving an option to the browser to install that to your device. This all happening through this file. So here, as you are registered, now our application registered, and I told you that the installation, the fetch, everything is handled inside this. I will go to the package JSON. So here if you can see, we have added our service worker. So ngserviceworker.config, that is ngsw.config. So it's a new file. So what it's saying is we have a schema, then the index means, as you know that Angular is a single page application, so after the build you have only one HTML file. Now in the beginning we have a asset group. In that asset group you just need to give the name. So you have two install mode. So install mode is prefetch, and if you can see here in down you have a install mode as a lazy. So install mode prefetch means first it will fetch to the service worker, then it will give it to the browser or to the render UI. The lazy means once the browser request or once your main thread request, then it will download and it will give. The benefit of lazy is it will be faster, like if you have a lot of files and some like all need to be loaded till it not requested, then it's good. But the demerit side of that is, suppose before fetching all the details, if the internet disconnection happen or internet is pretty slow, then it may not get the result on the next time. If you go with the prefetch, then they will download everything to the cache, and in that, and when you come back again, now they can navigate to all the pages and they will have all the assets. Mainly for these things, like as Angular also created, mainly for the icons, the index.html, those things on the CSS and the JavaScript file, those things you need to cache because those things are required on the load itself. Okay, so that's why they were going with the prefetch. And here, if you are using some static files or static URL, that you can also give. This is for the assets folder, like if you can see here. And here they have made it as a lazy because, as I told you, in the asset you are not going to fetch, you are not going to request all the things on the starting. You can go for a periodic way to fetch the details. And in the update mode also, like how it will going to update, you have both the condition like lazy and prefetch. So the same lazy means lazy loaded, and you know what lazy loading is. And here you are giving the resources, a file like which all file need to be added. It's saying all the files from the asset and all the images and all. So we saw how by adding Angular PWA, Angular is handling the offline version, or by using the service worker, Angular is handling for all the HTML files, all the static files, that all we are giving it here. But think like you are calling a REST call and you want those REST call because that are not changing that much. So you want those REST call need to be cached. Okay. So what I did here is, on the start of the app component.ts, I am calling a dummy server. So it will just return us a dummy data of some employee data and all. And on the response, I am setting those data to our API data, and in the HTML, I'm iterating through it. And now we'll go to the browser and just go for localhost 8000, and you will see all the record. Okay, so you will see you have the internet connection. So what we'll do here is, I will just turn off my Wi-Fi so that it will not be called to the server. So the get calls will not be happen. If I refresh, you see, okay, you are still getting the data. We are getting the data here because the browser itself caches the get calls. Okay, so what we'll do is, I will hit a hard reload. If you just try to refresh it multiple time, or if you if I'll copy and paste it in another page, and you will see we are not getting the data anymore because it has not been cached. And if I go to the console, and you will get that gateway timeout error because we doesn't have the internet connection. Now I will just switch it back on, and when I will hit refresh, we'll get our data back. So now we will see how we're gonna achieve that by caching the API calls we have. So here again, we'll go to the our config file, like that is ng service worker config file, that is ng sw config file. And if you see here, we have asset group, which is to store the assets like the index.html, the icons we have, and the manifest file, the CSS. Now now we will create a data group. Data group is to, like I told you, that fetching the data, or like how many data you want and how to call, mainly the external service calls. So that we'll just call as a data group, and from here you, from the Visual Studio Code also, you from the intelligence you also can get the data, and again it will be same as the above. It will be array of object. So again here we have a name, and the name will give as a API call. The URL, now again a URL is a URL of string, means a list of string, array of string. So what we will do here is we'll go to the application app component.ts and just copy this URL and come back here, and I will paste the URL here. Here you can put multiple URL as well, like URL number 2, URL number 3, or you can put like dot star also. So here that means whatever come after v1, that the thing will be cached. So I will go with the single URL for our case. Okay, so again after that, and we have a cache config. Cache config is to configure the cache. If you remember in the previous video, I told you that we're going to maintain when to access the service worker or when to access the API calls. This is the cache config. So here you can configure like when to like wait for 10 seconds. If I'm not getting the data, then get it from the service worker. So that what we're going to implement here. So we can give a max size or max age. I will go with the max age. So max age is the maximum age of the cache. So here you can give as a 1 day, 2 day, 1 hour, 2 hours, some seconds. Okay, so I'll go with 12 hours. Then you can put any value like from a day also. So if you need 12 day, then just convert it to D, or if you need 6 hour, just convert to 6 hour, minute to M. So like I will go with the 12 hour. After that we have a max size, and the max size is how many URLs, means how many requests you want to cache. Like suppose we have here only one request, suppose I give 10 requests. Okay, and if you give like this, so it will cache the till 10 requests, not the 10 results. Means suppose from employees you are getting 28 employees kind of, it will store those 28 employees. But what I'm trying to say is the size here is the number of URL you are calling, not the number of results. So after that, if you just hover here, you get a strategy and a timeout. So if I'll go for the strategy is two times. It's one is freshness and performance. Okay, and from the name of a performance, you can guess it's a performance oriented. So where if the performance is good, that means it is going to fetch from the cache. Okay, so to explain, I'll just add the timeout as well. I'll give as a 10 second. Okay, so if you give the strategy as a performance, then you can ask me, okay, so but how it will decide that always get from the cache? So it will never going to get from the server. Yeah, it will, but how it will decide is it will check the cache max age. If the max age is above 12 hour in our case, then it will fetch from the server. But till that point, it will fetch from the cache, because you have told the service worker that I need the performance. So fetching from the cache is more efficient than fetching from the server. But if you go for the freshness, what freshness will do is freshness just check the timeout you have. Means first here in this timeout, suppose you are given a 10 second, oh, we'll go for the 5 second. So suppose you are saying that, suppose you are calling this method, okay, calling this API call, it will wait for 5 seconds. If we are not getting a response from the server, then it will go ahead and hit the cache and get the data. So I will try to repeat it again. So what the service worker will do is it will hit the server. If the server is not able to get the response, so suppose we are not able to get the response from the server within this timeout second, then it will go to the cache and fetch the result. So whatever result will be there. So this is what your cache config is and how you're gonna call. Now we'll see the result, what it affecting our data. And it's built and I have started the server also. Now we'll go to the browser and just try to refresh for multiple times to make sure the service worker is affected. Sometimes it's not loading in the same tab. We just try to reload it again. And you can ask me, okay, Subrat, this user is not going to do if you will update something. And that we will going to see in the next video, how to handle the update scenario for a live user. There is a package called SW update in Angular that we're going to use in the next video. So please subscribe and hit the bell icon for that. Now we'll go to I'll open the console, I will go to the application, and here I will, as previous, I will just turn off the Wi-Fi and I'll just try to hard reload here. Now see, we lost the data. Okay, now if you replace it back again, you will get the data from the cache. But if you check in the previous scenario, if I have where we haven't cached the API call, and when I switch off the Wi-Fi and I had reload, it haven't load anything. Now what I will do to show you, I will just copy it, I will just close this tab and I'll just reopen it again. Now you can see we are getting all the data and it is cached. Now you can ask me, okay, Subrat, you have given a 5-second timeout here. That means the call should wait 5 seconds, then it should get a response. That I will show you here right now is it is not waiting to the call because it is getting a the internet connection, like the timeout error from the server. If I will go to the network tab and if I refresh it again, you will see that we are calling the employee to the network and that's failed, and we are also calling, this is coming from the service worker. And if you go to the our worker.js, if I go to the response, and here you can see we are getting all the data for what we have configured there. And in the real scenario, that means when you have the internet connection, then this call is going to happen, but it will fetch the data from the server and will update the service worker. And one more thing I want to show you, that where you can see this icon like a setting or a flower kind of icon, that is from the service worker. So what I will do is I will just turn on the Wi-Fi now. Then what we'll do, we'll just refresh the server. Now here you can see that we got the response, and this response came to the service worker, so that it will update for the cache for the next time when you will get the data to the client, or to the when the service worker will send the data to the rendering thread. Okay, so this is what we are getting to the service worker, and this is what is already present in our data. Suppose you will get some new data here, then whenever you refresh it again, you will get the updated data here as well. So that's it for today, guys. Today we saw how you can use the package Angular PWA and we can add it to our existing project, and it will solve it will do our 80 to 90% job, storing the HTML files, storing the JavaScript files, storing all our components, all our services, and we don't need to configure anything about that except from if you want to store some API calls, or if you want to save some static files, then also you can give the static files here also, like the URLs, and you can provide the fonts which need not to be changed, like the Google fonts. And in the next video we're going to see the SW update, and which is used for example, suppose this employee tab. Suppose in the first call, like in the previous call, you got 30 employee. Now in the next call you got 80 employee, and that will get stored in the service worker. In this case, it will not be visible here till you do a refresh again, because as I told you, first it will come to the service worker like this flower icon here. Then in the next call, it will, this employee call, it's from the service worker. So the previous call, it will update service worker, and in the next call, it will get from the service worker. But how the user will know that they have to refresh it again, or how you will know that you need to refresh the user session again so that user will get the updated data, that is we're going to see in the next video. Hit the like button if you're liking the video till now, and if you're liking my work and you want to support me, you can support me on the Patreon. I'll give the link in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will not miss the SW update video. And please share this video among your friends, family, colleague, and please give some valuable comment in the comment section below. We're going to meet in the next video. Till that, stay happy. Bye bye.